Good evening. My name's Shay Douglas, and just like Emmy's speech earlier, when I was a young boy, I loved to play. When I was younger, a young little tucker, I had short hair, little bowl cut like this, and I would run around pretending to be a superhero, pretending to be Superman. I had these huge dreams. I would put on my cape, wear my little mask, and attempt to fly. And there's one man in my life who's always been my hero, and that's my father. I absolutely adore him. He's an inspirational man, he's an extremely adventurous, passionate, and I'd like to acknowledge that he's even here tonight. So it's 1999, I'm 7 years old, and he wants to take me on one of the most epic adventures of a lifetime. He wants to go trekking in the world's highest mountains, the Himalayas in Nepal. 7 years old. Can you believe the excitement that's running through me? I'm also a little bit nervous and overwhelmed because I can't quite comprehend the enormity of this task. It's day 7 and we're trekking through the mountains. My legs are starting to get sore, I'm feeling really fatigued, my heart's pumping, I can barely breathe, the air is so thin, I've got altitude sickness. We must get down the mountain and fast or it can be fatal. We reach the bottom and thankfully I'm okay. But at that point in my life, I felt like I don't have what it takes. I felt like I've let my dad down. I felt like I'm not good enough and I don't deserve his love. And that was the worst thing for me as a boy. My father, my hero, he doesn't love me. Now that's obviously not the case, and I don't blame my father because he's a fantastic man and a great parent. He's always loved me. But I felt I didn't measure up. And it was from that point on in my life that sent me on this complete trajectory where I subconsciously told myself that I must perform. I must perform in order to receive love. 6 years later, and I'm 13 years old, I witnessed my father with another woman. It's not my mum. I'm confused. Doesn't he love my mother? Doesn't he love me? I don't deserve his love is the story I tell myself over and over again. He's just betrayed my deepest level of trust. I finally got up the courage to question his unfaithful actions. And he looks at me and he says, "Son, don't you ever tell anyone about this again." In one mouthful, I swallowed all of my words and my emotions. I tell myself that I must never express my truth out of the fear of being rejected by my hero. So I made the decision at that point in my life that if I kept my head down, my mouth shut, if I worked hard and I achieved, then one day I would have received this love. Sports was my way to acceptance and approval. I love sports and I was naturally gifted at it. I went across on a scholarship to the United States, captained sides, won championships, went to nationals. By the third year, I'm broken and going for my third knee operation. The doctors tell me you will never play sports again. I'm completely heartbroken and shattered. The overriding feeling is that I've let him down again. All my dreams of being a superhero diminished, dissolved. I'm really not happy inside. I'm stuffing myself with cheap pleasures of sex, drugs, and alcohol. Attempting to conquer as many women as I can see in my path to gain external validation and simply acceptance. I was living my life a performance of masculinity. All for the cameras, as I was captured in the Netflix documentary Liberated. The pain, it's so internal. No one can see it. They all see the mask, it's a facade. They see the Instagram, they see the Facebook, they see the pretend smile, they see what I want them to see. Pretending to be something I'm not. Strong when I was weak. Confident when I was insecure. When really I was hurting. I don't know what my dreams are anymore. I've got to make a decision. I've got to leave this life. But I don't have the guts or the courage to do it. I'm full of anxiety, full of the bad things I've done. I'm full of fear. Now I'm just a man who has woken up and realized that I get to decide who I am. I get to decide who I will become, and I'm done performing. I want to be real. I want to be honest and authentic. And I don't just want to be a good man, I want to be a good human. The alarming statistics about being a man in today's world is pandemic. 90% of acts of violence carried out by boys. 90% of children with behavioural problems, boys. 80% of the homeless, men. 90% jail population, men. And the one that stands out the most to me, suicide, the leading cause of death. This is my father with my nephew. He's now a granddad, I'm so proud to say. I really think, do we need to start again in the way that we raise our boys? The way that we support our young men to become healthy adults? The obvious answer is yes. But how do we do that? Well, from my understanding, fear, hatred, addiction, promiscuity, betrayal, they're easy to explain. They require no definition, as it's easy to wither away in defeat. It's easy to give up, not take action, not do anything. Now, to take on full responsibility for life and all of its challenges, to confront your darkest truths of your past and meet your shadows with grace, to live with integrity and dignity. Now that's something. I'm convinced the only constant in this world is change, and we are all destined for transformation. Today I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission because I believe we can all change and transform the next generations coming through. And I believe that we are all the superheroes of our own story. Thank you.